Jack grew up in a small house with his parents and two siblings, Sarah and Alex. His parents worked very hard to provide for their family, but they never seemed to be able to get ahead. As a result, Jack's childhood was filled with financial struggles and uncertainty. Despite their circumstances, Jack remained optimistic and focused on his studies. He was determined to make something of himself and help his family out of poverty. When he turned 16, he started working part-time jobs to help support his family while continuing to go to school. Despite his busy schedule, Jack never lost sight of his goals. He knew that education was the key to a better life, so he continued to study hard and dream of a better future. However, there were times when he felt overwhelmed and hopeless. He would see his classmates with new clothes, cars, and gadgets and couldn't help but feel envious, but Jack refused to give up. He knew that if he worked hard and stayed dedicated, he could change his life. So he continued to work hard and put in long hours to help his family and succeed in school. As he got older, Jack realized that he needed to start thinking about his future and how he could create a better life for himself and his family. He knew that he needed to find a way to make more money, so he started to explore his options. Unfortunately, Jack didn't have much capital or any connections to help him get started. But he didn't let that stop him. He continued to work hard and save money, and eventually, he was able to start his own small business. At first, things were tough. Jack had to work long hours and put in a lot of effort to get his business off the ground. But he remained focused and determined, and his hard work eventually paid off. His business started to grow. And he was able to make more money than he ever thought possible. It was around this time that Jack met Susan. She was from a wealthy family and was immediately drawn to Jack's honesty and dedication. Jack was hesitant to fall in love with Susan, though. He felt like they were from two different worlds and didn't know if he could ever truly fit in with her family. But Susan was persistent. She saw something special in Jack, and she knew that he was destined for greatness. So she continued to encourage him and support him in any way she could. Eventually, Susan took Jack to meet her parents. At first, they were skeptical of him because of his background. But Susan was able to convince them that Jack was a hardworking and honest man who was committed to making something of himself. Over the next few years, Jack's business continued to thrive. He worked hard and saved money, and he and Susan eventually got married. They were happy for a while, but then they started to face some problems in their relationship. Jack was so focused on his business and making money that he had little time for Susan. He was always working and never seemed to be fully present in their relationship. Susan tried to talk to him about it, but Jack was too wrapped up in his work to listen. It wasn't until Jack's business started to suffer that he realized how much he had been neglecting his relationship with Susan. He had to learn the hard way that money wasn't everything and that he needed to make time for the people he loved, so Jack made some changes. He started to prioritize his relationship with Susan and put in the effort to make things right. And eventually, all of the misunderstandings between them were cleared up. And they were able to build a stronger, more loving relationship. As Jack's business grew, he began to hire more employees and expand his operations. He made sure to treat his workers fairly and pay them a good wage, knowing firsthand the struggles of working hard for little pay. He also donated a portion of his profits to charities and organizations that helped families in need. During this time, Jack and Susan's relationship had grown stronger. They had faced challenges and obstacles, but they had worked through them together. Jack had never felt so loved and supported in his life, and he knew that Susan was the reason he had been able to overcome his struggles and achieve success. As Jack looked back on his life, he realized that the struggles and challenges he had faced had taught him some valuable lessons. He had learned the importance of hard work, dedication, and patience. He had learned that success was possible, even for those from humble beginnings, as long as they were willing to work for it and never give up. Most importantly, Jack had learned that the love and support of family and friends was invaluable. He was grateful for his sister Sarah and brother Alex, who had always been there for him, and for Susan, who had believed in him when no one else had. Now, as a successful businessman, Jack was determined to give back to his community and help others who were struggling as he once had. He knew that he had been given a second chance in life, and he was determined to make the most of it. With hard work, dedication, and love, anything was possible.
Please subscribe to our channel.